Good morning folks, 21st Century Caveman here. Hope everybody's safe, hope everybody's well. So what have we got here then? Well, as you can see, we have a bag of Snaplocks. Now I bought these from Screwfix and I'll put the price on the screen now. And the reason for buying these was because I wanted to upgrade the security on the windows and doors. And at the time these were fitted, there were some attempted break-ins in the vicinity. And obviously this gave me a bit of impetus really just to get them sorted, because I've realised for some time that the security in the property, the weak point really was the windows and doors. So anyway, I did my research and decided on these Snaplocks, which were the most cost-effective way of enhancing the security in the property. So these Snaplocks then, they fit to the part of the window which opens. You don't fit them to the internal frame. So if you're going to fit them in the area where the existing handles or locks are, you've obviously got to make sure that it's going to be strong enough there, because I found that, you know, there were a number of drill holes where the existing fixtures had been fitted, and also some extra ones as well where somebody had made mistakes. Now, if you're not going to fit them in the same place, then basically if you just leave the existing handles or locks in place while you fix these Snaplocks, it just means that it's easier to do because it holds the window tight to the frame, if that makes sense. So anyway, look, this is what you get with the package. You get the lock, you get 2 self-tapping screws, you get a key, and you get some little plastic, I'm not quite sure what you call them, but I'll call them buttons, which ensure you get a nice tight fit up against the frame. So when the locks are unlocked, they will rotate 360 degrees in both directions, and as I say, you do fix them to the part of the window which opens outwards. So the handle then basically acts as a deadlock against the frame to prevent somebody opening the window. Now unfortunately there wasn't enough room to fit the locks in the same position as the handles, because there wasn't enough room on the right hand side, so I decided to fit them at the bottom of the window, and I'm just using a little bit of card here, look, just as a packer to enable the window to open without brushing up against the frame. So here I'm using a 3mm drill bit, and the important thing to bear in mind about this is the fact that do not drill all the way through the frame. You're just making a little divot here just to give the screws something to screw into initially. Do not drill all the way through. It's important to make sure that these fittings are as tight and as strong as possible on the frame. Now the other thing is to make sure that you need to screw these screws in very carefully. Finish off by hand basically and use a screwdriver. Don't be tempted to try and finish them off using a powerful combi drill or an impact driver. And then of course you just finish this off, look, putting the little plastic cover cap on the lock itself. Now, if there's a gap between the frame and the handle, you need to put one of these little spacer buttons in the hole on the reverse side of the handle, just to close the gap basically, just to make sure there's a nice tight fit. Now the other thing to bear in mind is with these locks, each lock has its own key and there are 100 different combinations. So one key will not operate all locks. And this really, I suppose, is the only downside to these locks. Right, so now that the existing handles have been removed, obviously it's just a bit of a clear up process. You may also find that there are some plastic burrs where the old screws were holding the handles, so you just need to get a sharp blade, something like a Stanley knife, just get rid of those plastic burrs and then use an appropriate sealant just to fill those holes in, and then just to tool them up with a wet finger or a wet blade. Now, don't forget, each lock has a different key, so I decided to colour code these, and you could do that either with a permanent marker or just get some electrical tape and just mark them, or indeed use whatever method you want to. So the cost of the job then is £15.46, absolute bargain. Thank you very much indeed for watching.